Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we getting on? Welcome back to another Fallout 76 build. So this one had a couple of issues along the way, don't they always? Hit a slight snag. I had a really cool location I found on stream a couple of weeks ago now. I thought it would be a great place to put this particular build idea. Unfortunately, it had a bit of a problem, namely that it's right next to a fisher site, and the local flora and fauna had a slight objection to my being there, so the plan had to be changed, unfortunately, and I settled on this location. So we've got pretty good views up here. It's a nice location, not quite as good as the original idea, but we'll manage. And you can have a look now on the map to see roughly where we are. We're right in the south-central Savage Divide. It's quite good for the areas I'm exploring at the moment, and yeah, I like the location. So let's take a look at the build, shall we? So the key idea behind this build was to have a kind of patio area as a set piece, which is something I've done a few times, but this one I want it to be underneath the main sort of house. So we're going to get the foundations in first, because we kind of have to. And we're going to focus on angling it towards this view here. The one problem we have here is that with working on the downward side of a slope, it's a bit of a battle to get the levels right. Excuse the glowing pustules apparently my character's suffering from there. It was a fairly benign little disease, so just let it run its course rather than wasting disease cures on it. So we're going to stick down the basis of the foundations here. Unfortunately, I can't get that last piece I need in. It's a little too high. So back to the start and we'll try again. Up this a little lower. I want it as high as possible for the sake of the view. I'll pull it out. Yeah, that's still not going to go again. Just putting that middle line in because that's enough to show us what we need to see. Try once more. Once the survey lag goes away. There we go. Now we're talking. We have a nice flat platform that's going to form the basis of our patio area and the entrance to the main house as well. So the idea here was to have a solid wall, which I wanted to use this foundation for, as sort of the main, or one of the main focal points of the patio area. Unfortunately, I can't place a foundation on top of a foundation, so I had to work around it. Still, using the brick walls creates a nice kind of textured centerpiece, I suppose would be a good way of looking at it. And it'll also leave an open area for me to put staircases in for the access to the upper level, which I had hoped to use these concrete stairs for, but again, it was uncooperative. The walls are unfortunately getting in the way of placing the staircase there, so we'll have to quickly pull those back out, take that extra one out because it doesn't look very good, and we'll stick the walls back in again. Trial and error, yeah. Okay, so we have a door on and we have our entranceway. So I went to the atomic store. Actually had to claw a few extra atoms out of the game for this, because I wanted this dark laminate flooring. Not a big fan of the pale one, but this dark one looks pretty cool, so it goes quite well with the concrete foundations too, so drop these in. Doesn't seem to want to snap to the right place here though, so we'll start at the other end, snap it on there. It's got nothing to confuse it. One display ball, get these lined up the right way around, neat and tidy. Cool. So I've tried a few things on the side of supporting this upper level, but these metal posts are just under the stairs tab. And what I eventually settled on, we'll have a look at one of the other things I've tried in a moment. They're a bit spindly really, which is what I wanted to avoid, but unfortunately they're the best option, so it is what it is. And also, unfortunately, they are preventing me putting the walls in place, so we'll have to drop down below and pull them back out again. So with that done, we'll get the walls in. I was just going to follow it all the way around the outside here, but I changed my mind about there. Decided we're going to put a sloped roof over that bit, so we'll mix things up. Some half walls and some angles on the top, and then just the angles on the end. There we go, nice sloped roof over the staircase. So here you see the first experiment with the roof I tried, and I really didn't like that. Obviously the window's not in yet, but it just it didn't work in my opinion. I'm not exactly sure how I want to say it didn't, but it just, something wasn't right about it. It wasn't interesting enough, I suppose. So, let's stick some floors on. We'll have an upper walkway and put some extra rooms up top. So, got an idea of how we want to access that. Staircase over to the side. Get some windows in down here. So I initially tried just putting them in the centre of the walls, but just wasn't enough. I wanted something more open and airy, so everything apart from the backward facing walls has now got a window in it. We'll head up to the top. I wasn't quite sure what to do with this. I wanted some kind of structure up here, but rather than just having it open. So I basically decided to put a tiny little power armor workshop up here. Unfortunately, because we've got the edge of the floor pieces there around the staircase, certain wall pieces won't go in the right way round. They face it outward, so you got the white face outwards. So rather than getting aggravated by this, I decided to work with it. We'll have all of them facing outwards. Does mean the insides don't necessarily quite look right, but it's not too bad. You can't have everything. Sadly. Would be nice, but this one, for example, I can't get to face the wrong way around. Unfortunately, that's just a little issue that's particularly obvious with the brick building pieces. I do like these textured ones. They're a bit more interesting than some of the other ones, plus we've done quite a few wood builds so far. This uncooperative roof is easier to get into place if you just snap it wherever it wants to go and then move it, so that's what we're doing here. The other one in, head down the stairs and make it... There we go, play ball. Nice. Unfortunately, I didn't decorate up here quite as well as I perhaps should have done. It's something to do off stream, because I'll probably stick around with this one for a little while. But you get the general idea. You'll see on the tour in a moment. There's some railings in. We'll stick some stairs down here. I didn't initially want to put stairs on this back side. I just wanted the front to be the main access to it, but I ended up putting crops out the back, so I ended up keeping those stairs at the back. But here, I wanted to put, ideally, some kind of brick support for the upper level. Kind of brick pillars would have been ideal, like quite small ones to go in the corners. But obviously they're not available, so I tried this, amongst other things, as an experiment to see how it would look. And our conclusion is bloody awful. So those are going to come out and we'll just settle on the metal posts, as you can see. So we're going to put an angled entranceway in here with a ramp and the stairs at the bottom, because it just makes it look a little bit more complete, especially compared to just clipping straight into the stone there. And there we go. That's basically the build. Just some decoration now. A couple of posts. There's a couple of things inside that I'll talk about when we get to them that I haven't yet shown. They're simple enough, so I thought we'll start down the bottom here, as we've got a really cool approach to the building for the tour. So we're going to just come up through this little gap in the rocks, and there we go. Really cool look, especially with the volumetric lighting in the evening. Not a bad location, not quite as cool as the one I wanted, as we saw earlier, but it works. So we've got a couple of wind generators there, because I've got 2 water purifiers, and I needed the extra power. I didn't really have space for anything else, and yeah, they look quite cool. A couple of mute fruit out front, mostly for decoration more than anything else. We'll have a look around our newly decorated patio area. It's kind of got 2 focal points, this one. You've got the brick wall at the end inside, and then the view out over the Southern Savage Divide there towards Watoga, which you can't see for the mountains, but I finally picked up some sofas as well. Not the full set yet, but I've got some. See the lake down there, looks quite nice. Unfortunately, the fisher site is right on the edge of that. There we go, nice little table in the middle. I didn't want any railings around this, but I was quite happy to have the workstations there as effectively doing the same job. Little wood-burning stove there. Unfortunately, that doesn't have any light in it, so I just sort of tucked a lantern behind it, and then just pushed it up as close to it as I could to give it a bit of a glow. It's also a bit dingy in the evening, so you won't see it in this video, but I've subsequently added a couple of oil street lamps to the edges, sort of around the entrance and in the corners, just to give it a bit more of that orangey glow in the evening. Take a look around the inside. Stash box on the way in. We'll put a little bit more in this entranceway, I think, but we're going to be here for a while, so maybe I'll do that at some point on stream. Open it up. Don't mind the bear. So I've put some internal walls in here. I wanted to break up this space. So we've got a couple around the staircase, and then sort of created an outer room following this edge here. So we've got the office in the middle. Come around as sort of a sitting room, come bedroom here. Illuminated posters on the wall. Provide a bit of lighting. I like the colour a bit more, and they're quite cool wall decorations as well. Bit better than the lighting options I've got for the moment. A little Vault-Tec area in the corner, a little homage to the years spent in the vault. And our next staircase, which again could do with a little bit more decoration, but it's functional. This is our little power armor crafting room. Have a look inside in just a moment. For now, racking views from the top here. Can't really see it very clearly, but you can see Spruce Knob in the corner there. And there's a watchtower on the top of the hill just to the right of Spruce Knob. There we go. There's our little power armor station. Once again, the more basic design one just wouldn't fit under the roof. Or didn't want to place under the roof anyway, so I went with the high-tech one. It might work a little better now, given that the patch should have updated that, but this was just before that patch dropped. Oh, there we go. Needs a little bit more decoration, but yeah, I think it's quite cool. So, I do hope you enjoyed that one. If you did, you know what to do by now. We have social media links popping up around about now, and you can find them down in the description. And if you enjoyed it, do think about stopping by on one of the streams. Been having a lot of fun exploring Watoga lately. For now, thank you very much for watching. I'll be speaking to you all very, very soon.